Hi, this is Ruth Theresa with One Inspiring Woman, and today we're doing the astrology for September 2022. That's right. The beginning of September 2022 didn't have that many things, but the second half of September 2022 has tons of things going on. All kinds of energy in play, planets moving back and forth, in and out of signs. And so it's kind of just really pay attention and kind of be careful what days you do certain things. And I'm going to go through all of them so you hopefully understand or get a better insight which days to kind of avoid people and which days that you can be around them. That's a great one. So let's start with September 16th, and we're talking with Venus in the sign of Virgo squares Mars in Gemini. So Venus energy is a very strong energy, and it's all about love and money and kind of like getting into our purpose. Virgo energy is kind of all about like our details and serving other people, and so it's kind of be a little bit harsh there, and so it's also going to have that perfectionistic kind of energy to it. So that energy is square, and a square is all about challenging and pushing each other, and so this is kind of like pushing everybody together. And Mars is the planet of war or action, and then Gemini is all about communication. And so kind of what we get with all of that energy in play is a day that people's energy is going to be really high anxiety, kind of like I'm nervous about what I'm going to do or how I'm going to do this, and people be nervous about being judged or being criticized by others. So this is a day that you should be very cautious what you take from other people, because sometimes if you're around someone who's really critical, it can make you feel like you're under that microscope, and that's not a good feeling. And I will say that too, that a lot of times the other person isn't judging us. Sometimes it's just we feel like we're being judged, or we feel like they could be judging us, and so we put that energy there, but it's really not what they're sending to us. So it's kind of like, interesting. Also on September 16th, we have our sun in the sign of Virgo in opposition to Neptune in the sign of Pisces. So our sun is our ego. Virgo is all about, like I said, is all about that detail-oriented, serving people, and kind of that perfectionistic. So our ego is kind of like, I want to be perfect today. And that's really in opposition. And oppositions are all about kind of like that tug of war, kind of pulling each other. And then this is in opposition to Neptune, which is our dreamy blue planet, about dreams and kind of our dream life, or what we would want to bring from our dream life into our real world. In the sign of Pisces, and the Pisces is all about the flow or changing energy. And this is a day that is going to like truly zap your energy. You are going to feel tired and exhausted most of the time, and it could be from other people's energy connecting into you, but it could also be that you're just kind of feeling judged about what you're doing or what's going on around you, kind of that ego driven, kind of like, I don't know what to do, but it's like I'm not being perfect, and so you might be a little too harsh on yourself today. So just be aware this is something that's in play. Next, let's move into September 18th. We have Mercury in the sign of Libra in opposition to Jupiter in the sign of Aries. So Mercury, our planet of communication, and it's in the sign of Libra, which is all about balance and harmony. And then it's in opposition, like I said, it's a tug of war kind of energy. And it's in opposition to Jupiter, which is all about kind of like expanding and growth. And that's kind of a very strong energy. It's in retrograde right now, but it's one of those, it's really, really strong, and it's in the sign of Aries. And this could be impulsive energy. This could be like, I'm courageous enough to now do it, and I'm going to impulsively go and talk to someone that I haven't talked to before. So that's all coming in at us. And this is going to be a day that you're going to want to be careful what you promise to other people or what you don't promise to other people, and it will be a very tricky aspect, because other people may be wanting you to commit, like, I want you to commit to doing this with me or going here with me, and you're kind of like, I don't really feel like. So this is the day that you might want to avoid making those promises, and maybe kind of, I'm going to think about it before I get into this any further. So this can be kind of an interesting energy combination. Next, also on September 18th, we have our sun in the sign of Virgo, in Virgo, trine Pluto in Capricorn. So our sun is ego in the sign of Virgo, that detail-oriented, serving energy, kind of that perfectionistic energy in there. And then this is trine, which is all about the separation of kind of like we're going to separate our energy, but it also has a flow with it. So it's kind of like, how are we going to flow this together? And then Pluto is really our kind of like our god of our underworld, kind of like things that we want to keep hidden, things that we don't want to come forward. And that's all about in our sign of Capricorn, which is about ambition and mastering things. So this is kind of like a crazy kind of energy coming up. This is going to be a day that you're going to feel like your freedom. I want to be kind of like confident and I'm free all by myself. It's one of those kind of like feeling your own inner power. And it may help you feel like you can desire to anything, kind of like the world is my oyster, or I can achieve anything I want. And it's going to be a great day to kind of like set some new energies, or kind of think about some things that you want to bring in new or different than you've had in the past. Let's move to September 19th. We have Venus in the sign of Virgo trine Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Let's see. Virgo is Venus is all about the planet of kind of like taking over that personality, kind of like that courageous energy. And then we've got it in the sign of Virgo, which is its home planet, or home sign, and that's going to be pushing a lot of perfectionist, like I want to be the best I can be. And that is trine, which is that flow and that ease of agreement, kind of like we're going to flow together. And this is in Uranus, which is our planet of kind of change and kind of like revolutionary kind of energy, like what are we going to change and mix up. And that's in the sign of Taurus, which is all about being peaceful and stable and easygoing. And this is going to be an unexpected kind of day of matters of the heart and finance. These planets are all about love. Venus is all about love and money and the connections with other planets. And this could be a day of pleasant surprises. I'm kind of like, wow, this is an unexpected surprise. And opening your eyes to kind of like the quirkiness, or kind of like, wow, this is kind of like almost a coincidence that this is happening on this day. This is going to be a day of great connections, great surprises, and a lot of amazing energy. So all of that in flow is going to be like changing and modifying and the unexpected part. And you may still feel a little bit of that, I've got to be perfect through all of this, but you really don't. This is an energy day of just like relaxing and taking things easy. Next, on September 22nd, we have our sun in the sign of Libra, which is all like switching into our fall equinox. Our fall equinox is a day of balance and kind of like balancing that light and darkness between both hemispheres. It's one of those, Libra's season is all about bringing in peace and compromise, harmony, kind of like we may even try to diffuse situations or kind of like let out the energy of it a little bit. And this is going to be kind of in the next 4 weeks. But our fall equinox so it's kind of like, okay. So September 22nd, we have our sun entering the sign of Libra. And Libra energy is kind of being peaceful and compromising, and kind of desiring to find that harmony between different energies or things that are going on, and almost kind of trying to lighten the load of kind of like, let's make this lighter, easier energy. This is going to be over the next 4 weeks. We also have September 22nd as our fall equinox, and this is all about balancing the harmony of kind of what's coming in at us, kind of balancing the light and the dark, and we balance the north and southern hemisphere and the northern hemisphere, kind of balancing that energy together. And this is a great day. I guarantee you this is a day that you're going to be filled with surprises and kind of getting ready for that fall season. You're going to see that with a lot of people as well, kind of like this energy coming in. Next, also on September 22nd, we have our sun in the sign of Libra conjunct Mercury in the sign of Libra. So this is kind of an interesting one. So our sun is our ego, and Libra is all about kind of that balance and harmony. And it's one of those. Then we have it conjunct, which is all about kind of like this separation of energies. And then we have Mercury in the sign of Libra. So Mercury is about communication. So we're going to be communicating and trying to find our balance in communication. This is a day that you really want to read or reread any contracts that come across your desk, anything that you want to put your signature on, or even if you're buying something, you want to be careful what you put on it, make sure that everything is accurate on it. During this energy, major decisions need to be like really thought about. Think about it again, think about it again, think about it again, because you really want to make sure that what you promise you're going to do, you're going to do. This is the energy of the day. So just kind of be really aware of this energy. Next, on September 23rd, we have Mercury, who is already in retrograde. Retrograde backs all the way back up into the sign of Virgo. And as it does, it's going to be, Mercury is very comfortable in this sign. It's going to bring up anxiety, nervousness for some people. This is kind of like really hyper focus for a lot of people. So just understand this energy is coming in at you pretty fast, and it's one of those, and it's going to feel stronger. We've already had Mercury in the sign of Libra in retrograde, and that seems really light and easier, kind of like we're able to deal with things. This is going to kind of taking that retrograde into a new level of, it's going to be harder. You're going to have things where you're going to feel anxiety, things are not working, and I guarantee you, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, my computer's not working, my phone's not working, this isn't working. Take it easy. The more nervous energy you push at it, the more it's going to just grow. So the best way to do it is kind of calm down, relax, take it easy, kind of take it as a sign like, I need to take a break, or I need to step back from this for just a minute. I need to take a break from my energy for a few minutes and decide what I want to do in all of this. That's a great way to look at this. Next, we have on September 24th, we have Venus in the sign of Virgo in opposition to Neptune in Pisces. Venus is all about that energy of being perfection, being dominant, and this is going to bring in issues with money as well. In the sign of Virgo, this is going to bring in detail-oriented energy and kind of that perfectionistic. And being in opposition is going to be like that pull and tug, like how are we going to get this apart? Neptune is all about that dreamy blue planet of kind of bringing our dream life into our regular life, and it's in retrograde right now. So, and it's also in the sign of Pisces, and Pisces is kind of that energy of like being the imaginative, being the sensitive energy. So people are going to feel a little more sensitive. This aspect is putting on our rose-colored glasses and kind of seeing the best in everything that's going on, kind of that energy of where are we going with this? How are we dealing with this? And even if it's not actually there, kind of just wanting to see the best in everybody and in everything. So that's a really strong symbol for most of us. So next, let's move into September 25th, and this is our new moon in the sign of Libra. And this autumn lunation is kind of really very emotional. A lot of people will hit that very emotional side, and I will tell you that there may be some reconciliation energy over this. It doesn't mean people are getting back together. It could be just like we're seeing things from the same side, or we're now balancing that energy a little bit differently than we've done in the past. This is a good time to start a new relationship, or looking at a situation through different perspective or a different way to look at it, kind of like, instead of seeing it always very harsh, kind of seeing it as like, wow, this is coming to me so I can make new changes or new decisions in this area. Next, let's talk about September 25th. Again, we have Venus in the sign of Virgo, trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. Venus, all about that strong energy of money and power. In the sign of Virgo, which is all about serving and perfectionistic energy. Trine is kind of all of that flow or ease of agreement and kind of communication. Pluto is all about kind of that underworld of kind of like things that we want to keep hidden, things that we don't want to be seen in the light of day. And that's in the sign of Capricorn, which is very practical, very ambitious energy. And this is a great day for winning people over and kind of influencing other people. So if you've been trying to open up to someone else and it hasn't been working, this is your day. This is your day that you've really got to let's push that energy and kind of like winning them over. I will tell you that your charm will be on full alert, and allowing us to kind of get what we want, kind of moving closer to what we want and kind of finding that balancing act in our lives. Next, on September 26th, we have our sun in the sign of Libra in opposition to Jupiter in the sign of Aries. Sun is all about our ego, and Libra is kind of like all about the balance and the harmony, balancing that ego a little bit. In opposition is all about that pull and tug energy. And then Jupiter in the sign of Aries, Jupiter is all about expansion and growth. And Aries is all about kind of this fierce, courageous energy and kind of being impulsive. This is a day that kind of seems to fall into an optimistic kind of look out of kind of like, where are we going to go with this? This is going to be a very lucky day for most people. This is a day that we're going to be kind of in balance in what's going on. And I guarantee people that are normally like striving for kind of like, I want to make all the money I can and I want to push, are going to be like, I can take it easy on this day and kind of relax. So it's not going to be as hard energy as we really think it could be. But it's one of those, just know that easy comes when things become easy. It's one of those, think that it's lucky. It's because we want that lucky energy around us all the time. We don't want to be fighting it for every little scrap. We want to feel it, that it's coming to us. Next, on September 27th, we have Mercury in the sign of Virgo, trine Pluto in the sign of Capricorn. And so Mercury all about communication, Virgo about serving others and communication, and that's kind of like trine, and that's kind of like that flow of energy. Pluto, the under things that we want to keep hidden, and Capricorn is all about kind of that energy of like ambition and where we want to go in our life. This is the day to hit the books or kind of find what you want to search or where you want to go in next. Maybe it's a class that you want to take, or maybe it's something else that you're kind of really been wanting to do. This is a great day to kind of do that research and kind of find out what are the topics, where do I want to go. If it's not the answer you were hoping for, keep searching. This is kind of that energy of the day of like, I didn't find the class I wanted, but I found something else, or I didn't find the book I was wanting to find, and now I'm doing something else. So that can kind of be a great energy kind of between the two of kind of doing that search of what's my next big thing to bring into my life or kind of bring in to learn about and study. Also on September 27th, we have Mars in the sign of Gemini, trine Saturn in Aquarius. Mars, action and aggression. Gemini, all about the communication of it. And trine is kind of like that flow between the two of them. Saturn is all about kind of like the structure and the power of things. And Aquarius energy is kind of like all of that revolutionary, kind of like what can we change and what can we modify. This is a day for innovations and kind of like new thinking, new thoughts. You may even have like thoughts that you're like, I had no idea I could put these two things together, and kind of putting things together in different and unique ways just for you. And these are days that kind of like we're achieving our goals with hard work and kind of like our thinking, kind of like bringing that energy out. Know that you are meant to kind of make some new connections on this day. Next, on September 29th, we have Venus entering the sign of Libra. And This is another one of its ruling planets. Venus focuses in on more important relationships in our lives and finding the harmony within the relationships we already have. If we've been out of balance, we're going to be finding it in this time frame. This is going to be over the next 4 weeks or so. So just kind of know that this energy is coming in. And then this is while we're kind of being less assertive and kind of like more calm, cool, and collected in all of this. This is a great day that we can kind of take that out and kind of let our charm and our beauty kind of stand on its own and really kind of enjoy the next couple of weeks of this energy. Let's talk about, also on September 29th, we have Ceres in Ceres in entering the sign of Virgo. And this is, Ceres is all about that asteroid of like nurturing and being of service. And so you're going to see that over this time frame of people wanting to be in service or people like reaching out. You may even see an influx of videos online of people helping out others, leaving money, leaving more tips than they should, all that kind of stuff. You're going to see that people are being service to other people. And this is a great day to kind of find ourselves in what we want to do, especially if we've been wanting to heal and kind of get into that healing modalities. This is a great day to kind of allow that to happen. Also on September 29th, we have, I said, a very busy month. We have Mercury moves into the sign of Scorpio. And this is all about kind of like communication and thoughts and intensifying energy over the next couple of weeks. This could be encouraging us to kind of like step out of what we normally do and really desiring to find the truth in what's been said or how it's been said. Kind of like, okay, that doesn't make sense. Let me ask for the truth. Or is that really the truth? And I will tell you during this time frame, it's going to be very difficult for people to lie to us. It's one of those, we are going to be almost like, no, that's not the truth. We're going to be speaking our truth. What I'm telling you is what I can feel is there's a lie in what you're telling me, and it's going to be coming out. So this isn't a bad time. This is going to be a great time to give us a deeper insight, not only into us, but other people as well. Let's pull some angel cards and get us a little bit deeper insight into all things Virgo season 2022. And this is all about studying. This is where I kind of go in on September 29th when we have Mars in Gemini trine Saturn in Aquarius and kind of finding that, what do we want to work at? Where do we want to go next? Where do we want to pull that energy from? This is going to be a great sign of bringing in that energy and finding that next thing we want to study. Body care. I will say Virgos do usually very well about taking care of themselves. And so I would say this is kind of just Virgo season in general of kind of taking care of ourselves, taking care of what's important to us. And usually that's us. Maybe that's getting our nails done or getting our pedicure or just even taking some time off of just like, I deserve it. I deserve a few minutes to myself. Manifestation, I will tell you, this kind of is that lucky, lucky day of energy. Where did I see that? That would be more like September 26th of all of that luck coming in and manifesting what you desire to have in your life and desiring what you want to see in your life is going to be really well. This is truth and integrity, and I will tell you that this is going to be kind of all things September 29th with Mercury in the sign of Scorpio. Like I said, it's going to be very hard for people to kind of lie to us, and we are going to feel it kind of in like that energy, like something isn't right about what they're saying. And then it's your job to kind of decide, is it a purposeful lie, or is it just a lie if they forgot something? And there's a difference to it. Sometimes people say, oh, last Thursday I went to the mall, and they really meant to say like I did on Wednesday. They just forgot. It wasn't like I'm purposely lying to you. But it's one of those, if they're talking to you and they say that this happened and you're kind of like, it's one of those, it could be that they're actually stretching that truth around and around to get their side out there. Signs, there are so many signs. This one is kind of pushing me to September 16th, our sun in the sign of Virgo in opposition to Neptune in Pisces, and kind of like that signs of this is a day to kind of take it easy, relax, and do our hobbies and kind of do other tasks instead of being out and about around other people. It's going to be an interesting day. Celebration. This is all about the fall equinox. This is a great time to celebrate. People around the world celebrate the fall equinox. You'll have things at a lot of Mayan temples. You'll have it at Stonehenge. A lot of people will get out and really celebrate that fall equinox energy. And I will tell you that usually, I found this out recently, a lot of times this is a time that politicians will make a big speech about something changing coming up really, really soon. This is all about surrendering, releasing the energy. I will say this is kind of more that time frame of kind of like September 24th, when we have Venus in the sign of Virgo in opposition to Neptune in Pisces, of letting go of what hasn't worked and seeing things for the best it can. Because if we're holding on to what it could be or what we thought it was and not moving into the new energy, we're holding that in place. And that's not always a good energy for us to kind of allow that to kind of take over. I thank you so much for joining me today, and I know that we'll be talking again soon.